Good morning. Today is the 23rd of November and this is Mattwood 2025 at Goodwood in Sussex. For those of you wondering what Mattwood actually is, a few years ago a gentleman by the name of Matt Pollard contacted the Auto Alex channel. He was a big fan of it, and he informed them that actually he was a huge fan, but he had terminal cancer. It's obviously a very, very sad story. Alex Kirsten and some of the others decided to hold an event for Matt Pollard here, known as Mattwood, before he passed away. He was a big fan of Japanese cars in particular, but the event's run now for a couple of years. Sadly, he passed away after the first one. So this is a wonderful start to the event. This 1986-87 BMW M5 E28 got the individual rear lights to the M5 on the back. They're worth, I think, £500 on their own. This one is, I think, really standard looking. That is absolutely lovely, particularly with some headlamp wiper action. Next we've got this Mark 9 Civic that's a Type R. It's got all sorts of little sort of touches on it. These are actually really, really good cars, Mark 9s. I'm very fond of these. I'm really fond of the Tories in particular. I've sourced a couple of those and I really like them. Next we've got this replica Volvo 850 touring car, which looks like it's from the mid-90s. You've got little mirrors on this, so someone's paid a lot of attention to how they used to look back in the day. What engine's in this? I don't really know. Can't remember what ones I used, probably the T5s for touring cars back in the day. Later on they did have saloons, but the early 850 touring cars were estates like this one. Next we've got a Zetec S. I quite like Mark 6 Fiestas views. I make no sort of suppositions about that. I really do like them. It's a very late one actually, it's a 2008. Next you've got something very special. This is a Mark 1 Golf Cabrio from about 1987-88 on an E. They made these all the way through to 1993 when the Mark 3 Cabrios came out. The thing about these was that they just didn't bother making a Mark 2 Cabrio, they just skipped that entirely, and so they just kept enhancing the Mark 1. This is a Clipper model. A lot of these didn't even come with electric things like that. You can see as well they still carry the pre-facelift Mark 1 rear lamps, which were changed about 1980 on the standard Golfs. And then we've got a Mark 6 Golf GTI. I actually quite like the Mark 6 Golf viewers. I'm quite fond of it. I haven't driven one in years. Well, even when I drove it in 2021 or something, which is I think at 1.4. Then we've got this Mini. Now this is about the same age as the Golf there. It's sort of 87, 88. This one started life as a Mayfair. You can see out top of the interior this is a Mayfair. It's obviously been upgraded in various ways. Obviously it's quite rare to see standard Minis these days. A lot of them have been modified like this. These big wheel arches make the car look a lot more modern than it is. I think those are Mini Cooper sort of sport wheels actually on this. Or you need the arch extensions to be able to actually have it. Now on the Auto Alex channel they're obviously very fond of BMWs, and particularly things like this E36, very, very late one actually. It's in 99, one of the last. I think the Touring and the Coupe were the last two variants actually in production. So look and see if it's got a badge on the back. It's a 318 IS, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Next we've got something a little more modern. This is an M2. I can't work out if that's a personal plate. I think it probably is. Mind you, that actually is about the age of the car. I imagine that's quite quick. Next we've got something very special. Look at this 1968 MGC GT. Definitely an MGC, you can tell by the bonnet bulge. The gentleman is actually selling it. He's selling it with £20,000. Call Harry on 07841978675. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. It does look rather nice. Because the weather's been so bad over the last couple of days, it's really not been worth kind of extensively cleaning anything, because you just get rubbish all over it when you drive anywhere. Next, you've got another sort of thing that's very popular on the AutoX channel. We have the NA MX-5 here. Seems to be sort of sleeping at the moment. I always wonder with these cars how you get over speed bumps, because we have a lot of speed bumps in this country. Actually, you not, okay. Not an MX-5. And we've got a Z4. This is the 3.5 6-cylinder from 2010. It's had a beige leather interior, viewers. I do like a nice beige leather interior. Yes, it is. If it had wood, it'd be even better. Next, you've got an Audi R8. It's opposite of R8 I like. I tend to prefer the Rover R8s, personally. Most of you know what those are. But I wouldn't say no to having a go in something like this. My God, it's got a 6-speed manual gearbox and a normal handbrake. That looks like fun, doesn't it? Oh, yes, please, viewers. Next, we've got a bar convertible on this E30. Excellent. I thought the full cabriolet was out by this sort of time. This is I think a 1991. Here we go. Ooh. Right. Engine replaced 170,000. Recent service, cam belt, ceramic coated, DAB. Call 07941255877. It says £6,500 there. Yeah, Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says this could be yours. Personally, though, I prefer this Mercedes SL here. Oh, viewers, look at this. You've got another beige leather interior. Oh, yes, please, viewers. Oh, this one's got wood. Yes, that's better, isn't it? We'll have that. That is a 320, which is, I don't know if it's a personal plate, or maybe that's just how it came out. It's convenient, isn't it? It's facelift one, so it's about 1997, 1998 on an R. It's very nice. Next, we've got this very powerful looking Audi. Audi Avants that are powerful do seem to have quite a cult following. A friend of mine's got a 2002 RS6, and it's really nice, actually. His. That one is a bit more modern. I think it's an RS model. It wasn't been debadged, like I can't quite say. Next, we've got something which is probably a bit more modest in terms of a power output. This Volkswagen Caddy. I think we've had a different engine put in there because we've got a 6-speed gearbox. What engine's in there, I don't actually know. But yeah, these just remind me so much of the old Mark 1 Golfs and Jettas. Again, like the Cabrio over there, these continued far, far, far later after the Mark 1 Golf ceased production. This one's wearing a sort of 85, 86 registration. Next, we've got an Audi TT from 2006. I drove one of these actually quite recently. That's probably a personal plate though, because this is looks like an S-Line, maybe a black edition actually with black wheels. Be about, I don't know, 2010 or something, 2011. And then an M3. I forget the model code for these. Looks again ridiculously fast, rather like that Audi Avant that's over there. Yeah. Quad exhaust tips. For some reason, I've been promoted. I was going to go and park in a normal area, but the marshal said to me, "Go and park on the track." So I have. It sort of stands out a bit compared with the other cars here. But we have got some other things that are sort of this sort of era, so maybe it doesn't. It looks a lot cleaner than it actually is, viewers. It's I did drive quite a long way to actually get here, so it's a little bit on the filthy side. But I do apologise about it, but it's not looking too bad. Next, we've got a very sporty version of a car I've literally just done a review of this week. This is a 2013 Renault Clio RS, or I don't think they call it Renault Sport Clio by now. These have, unless it's a trophy, the trophy's a bit more powerful. This will have about 200 horsepower. I do like the design of these. The one I drove earlier this week was a 1.2 16 valve with 73 horsepower. This one is a bit faster than that. Next, we've got this insane looking Hyundai Veloster, or Hyundai. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'd like to try a Veloster. Wouldn't imagine that I'd be driving something like this. This is absolutely insane. What's the turbo? Wow. It's a real shame that these never caught on over here. They only sold for, I think, a couple of years. It was pretty crazy, really. I actually got something that I was expecting to see at an event like this. This 2007 to 8 Nissan 350Z. I imagine that we might see a few more cars decorated in this sort of manner as well whilst we're here. It's a very nice colour, actually. That suits it. Next we've got one of these second generation 1 series. Is this perhaps like an M140i or something like that? I've driven an M140i. It was modified to 420 horsepower by Litchfield. It was absolutely insane. Oh, is it an M140i? Bonkers. Next you've got another very fast BMW around this sort of time as well, an M4. I like this colour on that. Again, that I think really suits it. Hello to @P16TUF on Instagram. This is pretty special. It's a Jeep Wrangler. It's from 2001. This is actually the 4-litre straight 6 version, the older AMC engine, which I think was one of the last applications for it. Quite like that actually, because we've had some larger wheels put on there. And a Golf 7.5R, I presume, or something. Someone's put lime green seatbelts in there. That's an interesting choice. This looks very smart, doesn't it? This BMW M3 Touring Competition. I like this colour. It's very nice. But that's fast. I drove a 330e Touring quite recently. That looks very different from it, doesn't it? 718 Cayman S from 2016 to 17. I wonder if that's quicker than the BMW or not. No idea. So on the much later Cayman over here, a GTS 4-litre. Someone's been to France with the Critère sticker on there. Next we've got an E60 BMW M5. Look at those exhausts. Was it 507 horsepower these things had? Forget now, it's a long time since I've actually kind of seen one of these in person. And then we've got a couple of SW20 MR2s. This is a very early one, and then there's a later one over there. This came out, I think, 1989. I've never driven a second generation MR2. I've driven a first generation, a third generation, not a second one. Presumably it's a Rev 1 or something. It's a G Limited model. So that means Japanese spec. We've still got a sort of UK bumper on there, so I wonder. Sort of 1990 to 91. Next you've got another one here, sort of 93, 94. You can see the rear lights are completely different on this one. Do I prefer the earlier or later ones? I prefer the standard ones to this. That's just my personal preference. Very, very typical mid-90s colour as well. Then we've got an E92. (2006 to 7), and an M4. This is the next generation, really, of the car. This will be from mid-2010s, I should imagine. Another M3 competition. I forget the model code for these. Is it G20 or something? Something like that. I get confused with G21. I get really confused by this sort of stuff. Then, oh gosh, an AMG GTR. That looks rather fast, doesn't it, viewers? Very wide thing as well. V8 bi-turbo. I've actually got a sort of standard specification looking E92 here, 325i. It's funny, the track is so much narrower and things than on an M3. Next, we've got this 3-door Mark 7 Golf GTI. Not that common actually, most of them do 5 doors. We'll skip the Vauxhall Combo, we'll go on to that Suzuki there. These are one of the toughest little cars you can actually get, these Suzuki Altos. One thing you've got to watch about them is rust. Apart from that, they're really, really dependable. Even the automatics, I know because I sourced one. Next, you've got the previous generation Jimny. They're worth about £1 million now if they're not totally rusty underneath. I drove one of these years ago, the first episode of No Budget Reviews I did. Also, I quite like these Mark III Jazzers. Again, unfortunately, we're starting to see these sort of rust a bit now. The other thing is, if you don't keep the coolant topped up, they can blow the head gasket, which I have had experience of one of these, so they're not completely infallible. Oh, viewers, now this is nice. Right, let's take a second here, viewers. I'm just going to check something. Oh yes, viewers, it is an IS250. And it's got a beige leather interior with wood and a manual gearbox. I drove one of these in 2023. It was this colour as well, and it was absolutely fantastic. Another E36 BMW with M badges on it. Does this mean it's actually an M3, or is this just like an M Sport or something else? Don't know. Nice Volvo XC40 and a second generation Mazda. Sorry, not a second generation, it's a third generation Mazda 3. I should know this by now. These are fabulous. These are one of the best cars of the type you can buy. I drove one of these in 2023 and actually the video's done remarkably well. We do like those very much. And a very, very nice 1999 on a T, so very late E36 M3.
Yeah, the wheel arch will always move.
Evolution Saloon, so it says 1998, but that's a 99 plate. Next, you've got an Audi TTS, like the very powerful engine in this. You've got a choice of MX-5s here, viewers. You've got this 2003 NB facelift and this 2009 NC. I personally prefer the NC. That's just my preference. They're just a little bit easier to drive than these, and they're not so prone to rust, but they are rusting now. Well, even the NDs are rusting now. Is that a Subaru Legacy, viewers? Yes, it is. They're the most common things over here. In America, they're much more common. I forget exactly what this model is called. That's a 2003 to 4. Got one of these Mark 8 Civics here. Personally, I prefer the Mark 9s, but they're still quite expensive. The Mark 8s are a bit better value. 2011 Volkswagen Scirocco. I drove one of these a couple of years ago. I think it was also with this 2-litre engine with DSG. They're quite good fun, these actually. Something though I'm particularly fond of is this 1999 Volkswagen Polo Mark III 1.4 CL. Now, my sister and I'm actually a twin, my sister and I had one of these as our first car. It was very sort of similar in age to this in 1998. It was also a 1.4 CL, but in what's called bright green, which is actually dark green metallic. This car's had these Pirelli wheels fit. I think these are off a Golf Mark II. Apart from that, it was identical to this, apart from the colour. The facelift occurred just after this car was registered. This is a pre-facelift one, but also 1.4 with, I think, 59 horsepower these have. Not the fastest thing in the world. This one's also had some yellow fog lamps put in there, because that wouldn't have been standard on a CL. I really want to try a pre-facelift Mark III like this. If anybody does have one, this is why I put my email address in the beginning of all the videos. More BMW E36 action here. White leather interior with white paint. That's That's pretty extraordinary, isn't it, viewers? The 1996-97, and then we've got this one we're going to have to skip. Well, like this, viewers, this Mark II RAV4. There's not many of these left. I haven't rusted away. This one's an automatic 3-door. That's exceptional, isn't it? The XT3 model, 2004 to 5. Well, Maserati, we saw that at the NEC, I think, that particular one. I think it was Dad Car's son or something. Here's a Mark 9 Civic, viewers. We like these very much, particularly the 1.8s with a 6-speed manual gearbox. This might be a 1.4, I'm not sure, but actually that's a decent engine, just a little bit underpowered. Quite like that. Oh gosh, viewers. Whew. A Volvo 940 Estate. We like these, viewers. We like these a great deal. This one's been sort of modified in sort of ways. It's a 2.3 turbo with these extraordinary wheels, and someone's put a very strange steering wheel on it as well. Let's take a look. Gosh, look at that. A Volvo R Sport steering wheel. I've not seen one like that. Sort of. This isn't quite a celebration. It could be. It's a personal plate. It might be a celebration actually, which is right at the end. Next, something else I very much like, a Civic 3-door. I can never remember if these are an EJ or EK. This is a 1.6. I don't think it's the VTI as well. No, it's a 1.6 ES. That'll probably have the D series of 122 horsepower in it. It has got VTEC, but it's not a VTI, if that makes sense. If they're not rusty, those are fabulous little cars. Another WM2, another Mark II Audi TT. These two particular cars seem to be breeding down here today. I'm not quite sure why. And lots of these are white and S-lines or S-line black editions. Another Scirocco. I imagine that's like a 1.4 or something if it's not showing a 2-litre badge. Then an M240i, a current model. Are these any good, viewers? Because I don't know. If anyone used to have one of these in this colour, it was a 220. Yeah, I don't know. An E92 335i with a beige leather interior with wood, and it's a 6-speed manual. That looks interesting, viewers. I wonder if we can try something like that at some point on the channel. FK8 Honda Civic Type R. Manual. A lot better than the 1-litre ones. My gosh, the 1-litre Mark 10 Civics are awful. Don't buy one. Here we go. Is it Boxster, isn't it? Hello to that _Boxster_person on Instagram. First generation Boxster, 2002, so 2.7. This brand new Polestar, the Polestar 3, is identifying as a 2002 BMW E46 330ci convertible. I wonder what's happened if it didn't make it. So a nice EP3 Type R, 2001 to 2 registration. I'd like to try one of the Civics of this generation. I don't necessarily need to be Type R. It can be a normal one. That's fine. It's very nice.
Possible, thank you.
Right, here we go. Another Boxster, 2006 to 7, second generation. This one. And then we've got an F56 Mini John Coupe Works. I actually drove one of these a few years ago, 2021. It's a GP2 model which have no rear seat, and it was absolutely ballistically fast. I think it was 300 horsepower or something. I'll have to skip that one, viewers. It's got a French engine in there, we don't talk about those. The gentleman who owns this, his name is Nick, has just had a conversation with me, and this car has been stickered and de-stickered several times. It's a can't remember what the model code is for this this particular generation of Civic. It's the same generation as that Type R. My uncle used to have one of these actually. His was a 2003, I think. This is a 2004 to facelift. 1.6 D series with some luxurious leather seats. I mean, personally, I would just prefer one that's rated normally, but I respect him for driving a car like this. They're actually very, very good engines in both. The D series is fabulous. BMW 220i from 2014 to 15. K13 Micro, one of the only sort of cars this type I've not driven on the channel yet. I'll have to look at that pattern a bit. I suspect we can't talk about it, but oh yes please, an Audi 80 Cabriolet, 1992-1993 registration. I drove one of these about a year ago. It was I think it was a 2.3 automatic as far as I remember. It's been a while, so I can't quite remember. Actually it was quite good fun. The only thing is, having owned an Audi from the 90s myself, in 1993 Audi V8 which we had earlier this year, the steering in the V8 and in this is just far too light. I don't know why. Audi just have this preference of setting the cars up with very light steering, but there we go. So another NB MX-5. Interesting, someone's got a purple top for this one, so it's a good idea to have the hard top at this time of year. Having more of these, we'll see. Next we've got this Volkswagen Up GTI. I drove one of these actually last year. It had been modified a bit and it was bonkers. The standard one I would have personally preferred. This is a nicer standard one. It's 2018. So I don't make me up anymore because actually they were quite good cars. Wow, there's a lot of BMWs here, viewers. Not really, it's not really surprising in any way, but there just are loads. This one is a 2018 to 19 M240i. Very nice, facelifted E39 540i with the V8 engine. The Angel Eyes facelift. That is a BMW 118 previous generation. But an E46. Is that a beige leather interior, viewers, or is it just a cream one? It's just a cream one. Can't see any wood either. It's a bit dark in there. 330 Ci, very nice. And then another E60 M5 with the ridiculous amount of power these came with. Then another E46. Gosh, people eating food in the car, it makes me really hungry. My goodness me, this 2016-17 M140i reminds me of the one I drove a few years ago, pretty much exactly. It's this colour as well, and it being lightly modified like this one. Bonkers quick, these things. Little smart, I think this is the 451 version. It's still got the weird gearbox in it, and it's a Cabrio. I drove one of these actually a couple of years ago. The gearbox was not good. Then a Boxster S. This is a first generation one actually. Another E39, viewers. Presumably a 6-cylinder petrol one. I did drive an E39 actually earlier this year. It's owned by Simon from Lot 76 Cars channel. His is very nice, although he just about bought another one, so that's probably even nicer. So we've got a second generation Saab 9.3 convertible. I drove one of these many, many years ago. I think April 2021 it was. You can still pick these up for ludicrously small amounts of money as well. Although as Ian Seabrook from the Hubnut channel found out recently, you've got to buy carefully. This one is the brilliant Aero V6 model as well. And it's a manual. We've got the way that the sort of thing locks in reverse. Actually, that was not locked in reverse. Maybe it's got a modification. We don't have to do that. Interesting. So this is a 2001 Mazda 323F 2-litre Sport. It's owned by Tilly from the Just Some Car People Facebook group, who very kindly invited me to be part of their group. The sad thing is, when I got here, they actually said that I should park on the track, so I wouldn't want to be parked in here otherwise. At some point in my life I will get to have a go in this, so I think it's very nice. Next we've got this Focus ST. It'll have the 5-cylinder Volvo white block engine in it actually. Because this is a facelifted one, that plate is definitely a private plate, but the facelifted one didn't come out actually until 2008. So that is definitely a private plate on it. We've got this Audi RS4 that's actually on Q plates for some reason. We've skipped down a road a bit, viewers, because, well, got channel rules to obey, so there we go. Very interesting sort of decoration on this early NB with little patterns on it and things. Again, like I've said earlier, I think, with these MX-5s and things, I don't know what you do about the speed bumps if you've got a car like this. Presumably you just have to accept that you might get damaged if you drive over them. And then we've got this little Daihatsu Hijet. This one is just a little chassis cab thing. It's had a rev gauge fitted as well. It's absolutely hilarious. The only thing, I don't think I'd feel very safe coming around in this, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's funny. Okay, viewers, that's it for part 1 of Mattwood 2025. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again in part 2 for some more incorrect information.